advanced side because you speak English pretty well. Charlene is from Puerto Rico. She's actually a teacher in her country. And there are a few things that I want to point out today, and those are errors that I've heard in the Hispanic community quite often. One of them deals with people saying he want or he say, you know, instead of, or he speak, instead of he wants, he speaks, he says. And then the second error appears usually in writing. Sometimes people who learn English just by hearing it would have difficulties with writing sentences of the type, you know, I want to eat this. They would say, I want eat this. Yes, so they are skipping the to the particle of the infinitive. So I want to emphasize, you know, a very simple method of eliminating these basic errors, because they are basic errors. Sometimes, you know, we live with them like that, even later after our English becomes really, you know, fluent, really good. Starting with, first of all, starting with the conjugation. We have to use the conjugation. We don't like to learn a lot of conjugations, but, you know, sometimes we can use a conjugation that helps us create sentences fast. And one of those, you know, like shortcuts to creating sentences would be the verb to want. Here we have it, it's querer in Spanish, and I'm going to refer to it in Spanish, and then how that can be reported to English. Now, my suggestion always is to try to apply word by word, you know, the two languages, the one that you translate from and the language that you are learning. I don't think it's very good to try to just learn sentences by heart. There is limited number of sentences that you can learn by heart, and the best method is to actually know what you are saying. So this is the way of, you know, of doing that. First you learn a conjugation, querer, yo quiero, to quieres, él, ella quiere, so él quiere, ella quiere. Now, I know that in Puerto Rico you say yo, right? Instead of yo, so I pronounce it as in European Spanish. Yeah. By the way, Spanish is not the language that I teach, but I understand about 80% of it. I can use it for, you know, for the purpose of teaching Hispanics. So up to this point, yo quiero, tú quieres, él quiere, ella quiere, we have the singular.
Correct.
And in English, that would be for yo, you know, I encircle the pronouns. Yo would be I, tú would be you, él, he, ella, she. It doesn't appear in Spanish, right? And then quiere would be translated with wants. Wants, I would assume that the reason why people make this error is because you don't have s at the end of quiere, but you have s at the end of quieres. So somehow there is there can be a small confusion there. People don't want to think that quieres, which comes from tú, which is you in the singular, would be applied to él or ella, and in English that's what we have. We have he wants, we have the s there. Yes, so I guess this kind of confusion between the pronouns might be the reason why they sometimes don't use s, yeah, at the end of the singular. And then nosotros, that means we. And I know that in Spanish you can eliminate the pronouns. I always tell Hispanic students to think in Spanish, not just the queremos, to think nosotros queremos, yes? This way they can, you know, apply the pronouns like nosotros to we, queremos to want, yeah? Vosotros to you, all, plural, yes? Queréis to want, yes? This way, if you create an automatism in your mind, like él quiere, he wants, then it's never going to confuse you when you speak. And another thing would be how to create short sentences. The short sentences can be also made with a verb like to want, or you know, when you say I want to go, I need to go. Some of the modal verbs in English are very useful for that. I like to go, you know. So we use, for instance, the verb to want again, and then the infinitives. To go, to eat here, to eat, to write, to live, to speak, to travel, to walk. Then you can have an entire list of irregular verbs, for example, just to help us with creating these short sentences. And the same verbs, and the same list actually of irregular verbs, we can find it in Spanish. So if we explain, you'll end up with actually teaching a Hispanic person a little bit about the Hispanic grammar as you are teaching them the English grammar, yes? So if you have yo quiero comer, yeah? Comer, ER at the end is the equivalent of to in English. So comer would mean to eat. And yo quiero, you know, yo quiero, I want to eat, yes? Yo quiero comer esto, I want to eat this. How do you say yo quiero escribir?
Yo quiero escribir.
Escribir?
Escribir.
Escribir. En español, yes. So I want to write in Spanish. Again, the pronunciation and the spelling will be different. You know, we have to also look at the distinction that we have in English, where we capitalize certain words that in Spanish are not capitalized. So those are matters of finesse that we learn later. But for the pattern, this is the shortcut to you know, to sentences. You say I want. You think in Spanish, yo quiero, yeah, where yo means I, and then quiero means want, and then you put the infinitive verbs. You know, yo quiero vivir, I want to live. Yo quiero hablar, I want to speak. Yo quiero viajar, I want to travel. Yo quiero caminar, I want to walk. And you can, this is just the beginning, and then you continue the sentence. Yo quiero vivir en España, and would be in. I want to live in Spain. Yes, so you basically translate them word by word like that. I'm not saying that it's possible to always translate word by word, to interpret word by word, definitely not. But when you start a language in the beginning, when you start learning a language, it's really important and very useful if you can actually create connections like that between the words. So if you say yo quiero viajar a Europa, it would be yo is I, quiero want, viajar to travel, yes, viajar, one word is to travel, and then a would be in, and then Europa, Europe, and we have that distinction between en, like en España, and a, like a Europa, which is not so different in English. I want to travel to the United States or to France. I want to travel in Rome, you know, if you, or I want to go around in a city, yes. So there are some small distinctions like that. Here, when you say yo quiero caminar, yes, yo quiero caminar a las tiendas, you told me, and it's to walk to the stores, yes, I want to walk to the stores, and I want to walk to the store would be la tienda?
A la tienda.
Exactly. So you would have to translate the articles the same way, and it will be very easy for a Hispanic because the article doesn't change as opposed to Spanish. La and las, we just say the. Okay. So pretty much what I tried to do here was just remind Hispanic speakers to add that you know, letter at the end of their word when they write. He wants, she wants, to pronounce it as well, and to create short sentences without skipping words, knowing exactly this is called the infinitive verb, what it is like, and how it needs to be employed, you know, in, as a parallel to the infinitive verb from Spanish. Now I'm going to see you in class sometime soon. Yes?
Thanks for your time, guys.